Afternoon and welcome back to the Digital Delivery Channel. My name is Kathleen as your host. Before we proceed, just a quick reminder, be involved in the conversation. If you're watching on a computer screen, just look over on the right side and you will see the live discussion area where you can chat with other attendees and drop your questions to our speaker. And if you're watching on a mobile device, then the live discussion area is just underneath. I am delighted to introduce our next speaker who will discuss chatbots and messaging apps, digitizing the customer experience. He is the Chief Customer Officer of the RAS. Let us all welcome Kasim Shroff. Over to you, Kasim.
Hi, my name is Qasim Shroff, and today I'm honored to be speaking at the Home Delivery Asia 2021 event. Today, we're going to be talking about chatbot and messaging apps, which is basically digitizing the customer experience. I hope you guys can see my screen. So we'll basically kick off a bit on the agenda on what we want to talk about. So we're going to take this in 4 steps. First, we're going to talk about what digital customer experience is. Then we're going to talk a bit about the role of chatbot and other messaging apps, then the pros and cons of digitization, and then a Q&A session if anyone has any questions or anything they want to ask. So we'll kick off basically a saying that we really truly believe within our company as well, and a lot of people who are very focused on customer experience, they would understand this. Very important to know that people and what she says, Maya Angelou says, is people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So this again just doesn't mean a customer service part or any specific department. It's about the entire customer experience, where when a customer buys from you, or when a customer gets to purchase from any website or any even a physical online or offline store, the experience that they get and how you make them feel is very critical to if they would buy again or not, right? So basically, we want to deep dive into what does digital customer experience mean. Basically, this is sort of a mantra that we call it in Pakistan as well, about customer experience. But let's deep dive into what exactly we want to talk about today. So digitization of customer experience is driven by a strong understanding of a couple of things, which is number one, the customer journey and experience. One needs to completely understand the customer journey experience across the entire purchase cycle, from search to buy to buy, and then obviously the post-purchase or after sales. Obviously, number 2 thing is the business strategies to adopt to provide a seamless experience that delight customers. So your strategies, your processes need to be very customer centric. And number 3 is business implications that drive growth and profitability. Obviously, when a company is heading towards digitization, there's a couple of things that they need to, or steps that they need to put down before actually heading towards the digitization era. So number 1 is you need to choose your benchmark wisely. So if a company is in a certain sector, they need to compare themselves to where they want to be. Some companies obviously cannot be digitized, some processes cannot be digitized, but whenever you are working towards your digitalization of your own company, you really need to set your benchmark and see what the competition is doing. So I think that's the number 1 thing. The number 2 thing is you need to have an ecosystem. So ecosystem includes your employees, your infrastructure, your teams, everything. So this entire ecosystem within the company needs to support digital transformation if you want to head towards that. Number 3, and I think one of the most important ones, or the most important, I think it's creating a persona. You really need to understand what your customers are saying, right? Like you need to talk to them, you need to understand what the expectation is, you need to put yourself in their shoes. And if you understand your customer perfectly and know what he wants, only then can you really go towards digitization and follow that process. Recently, I was reading this article about Starbucks, where they actually, how people were waiting in line and it was taking too long for them to get their coffee early in the morning before heading to work. So they came up with something cool where you could pre-order online and then go pick it up, right? Obviously, this is a very common thing, but it's very important to understand that they actually took the customer feedback, the customer journey, how and it should work, and only then did they implement this. And this article that came up on Google really showed how important this was for people who were going to work in the morning, because obviously they have to catch the train or go to work, and the time is very limited. So point being, they understood their customers and then built a journey around it, right? Which obviously involves the product and etc. Obviously, when you look at the good things, you also need to look at your weaknesses when heading towards digitization. You need to understand what the roadblockers are, what the problems you could face, what are the weaknesses that you could have internally that could be system related, financial related, product related, or anything. You really need to deep dive into that. I think one of the other more important things that mentions on the slide is a truly agile process, right? And this is very important because with digitization, it's a constant change, right? So you, your company, your people always need to be ready to adapt and be flexible in changing. And recently I was talking to my father, who's a very traditional businessman back in our country, in Pakistan. And, you know, they're not very agile. They have a process that they want to follow, and you know, I see how he or the company that he owns, how difficult it is for them to move towards digitization, because there's a mindset that they're following, right? And I think everything, once you implement, it needs to be backed by data. You need to monitor your results. You need to make changes. Again, if you're agile, once you see the results, you'll make changes accordingly. So all these 6 steps are very important towards when you're heading towards digitization, and all these are things that you need to pre-work before actually hitting the ground. If we move towards next, I think the reason I added this slide was people, again, customer experience and customer service. There's a people sometimes get confused. Is customer experience customer service? And you know, the reason I bring this up is when you're heading towards digitization, the entire experience is owned by the entire company, and customer service is just a department. So customer service and customer experience are 2 different things. However, customer service is just a small segment of customer experience, right? With customer experience, you're always obviously proactive, you're cross-functional, you're you know, your journeys are very customer-centric. You define everything, the perception, and you want to ensure that you give the good experience so that customers come back. Customer service is on the other hand a reactive approach. When a customer has a problem, he will then only reach out to your customer complaint department. They are more problem oriented or problem solvers, and try to resolve an existing customer's problems or complaints as they go along, right? So this understanding of both customer experience and customer service is very important. Since we're now going to talk a bit more in detail about chatbot and all the other things, I really thought that putting this thin line is key. Like I was saying, customer experience is not just customer service, it's the entire company, right? So if you look at an e-commerce company, and I'll give an example because that's where I work. So customer experience can involves every single department. So in terms of logistics, right? So logistics, how do they impact customer experience in terms of the deliveries they do, right? So how does product and tech obviously relate to customer experience? How the product or how the website or app might work? How does payments link to customer experience? Does the online payment method of paying by credit card, is it a seamless process? Is it very customer friendly? How long does the return to the when you file a return, how long does it take for the money to come back to your card? So again, these are just some components of what customer experience can be about for each department, right? So every single department within the company plays a key role in defining a truly customer experience, which leads you to obviously when you're planning for digitization, right? So we were just talking about chatbot, right? So chatbot is again one of the most common ways for a customer service team to move towards digitization. So chatbot, I think the important thing is we first should explain what exactly is a chatbot, right? I'm sure a lot of people know, but it's basically a bot powered by pre-programmed responses, which a customer will be able to talk to. Obviously, there's no human intervention here. All these are based on previous chats with the chatbot, and then obviously when you launch, you obviously have to set certain questions. So I'll just give an example of how we in Pakistan launched chatbot. So when we decided to launch chatbot, right, and the number one reason was because we get so many interactions or customers reach out to us in different forms. We always wanted to ensure that if we're not 24/7, our chatbot is available for customers to interact with us at any given time, right? While we'll talk about the pros and cons of chatbot, but first understanding how chatbot would work. So what we did was, when we were launching chatbot, we came up with this scenario where we wanted to create KTs, which we call KTs, and we basically really wanted to ensure that what are the questions people will ask us, right? And then we should have answers to that. So for example, if a customer comes and asks us, like you see on the screenshot, how do I reset my password, right? So what we needed to ensure was, obviously there is a process on how to reset your password. However, the important thing is people could ask this question in multiple ways, right? So how can I reset my password? I forgot my password. How do I reset my password? Or, in multiple ways. You can say it in English and obviously in local language in Urdu. So the important thing was linking the answer to all these multiple questions that the customer might ask, right? And with chatbot, it is very important. Your entire tool needs to be based on these pre-programmed responses. So what we do is, once we launch, we then now on a daily basis go through the customer's interaction with the chatbot, and then we link the questions the customer asked with a predefined answer that we already have. So what I mean is, if we do not have if a customer asked in a different way, whatever way, about how I forgot my password, we would just link that question to the same KT, so that next time another customer comes, he's able to answer it, right? Obviously, if we found out through the daily working that this answer wasn't there, then we need to sort of create a new KT or a knowledge transfer of an article, if we call it, so a customer knows, right? So it's very important that this is the way the chatbot needs to be built. I think the important thing is that what we target is a chatbot resolution. So when a customer comes, how does our chatbot resolve a customer's complaints, right? Or a customer's interaction. So I think when a customer comes, the important thing is, when he gets the article, we have a customer satisfaction tool implemented there. So he can give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, right? So that way we know the article was very helpful for the customer. Obviously, if it was a thumb down, you need to understand why the article wasn't helpful, and then obviously improve on it, right? And then maybe at the end, once the customer is done with the chatbot, you need to ensure that you have a customer satisfaction survey where he can define what he feels good and bad about, right? However, there are some questions, obviously, that the chatbot cannot answer. And currently what we do is, once we see a customer talking to the chatbot multiple times and he's not able to get the answer, then we give an option to connect to a live agent, right? And that's how the customer moves from a chatbot to actually talking to a human through a live chat channel, right? So this is extremely key of understanding the chatbot and how it all works. Obviously, the pros and cons, if you really think about chatbot, is it can handle up to unlimited number of customers. When a live chat is being handled by a human, there's a certain capacity of what you you can do, or what the customer service can handle, right? There's a lot of very common questions, so you always want to ensure in terms of cost and efficiency that you have, previously used to have help centers and articles that the customers used to read, but now through a chatbot, you can obviously customize it to the way the customer wants. The downside is obviously a customer always feels, regardless of where he is in the world, that he's talking to a robot, and that human personal touch is always missing, right? So you really have to find the right balance between a chatbot and a human intervention. So I hope I was able to clarify, or at least give our point across on how a chatbot would work. Next, if we move on, some other mediums I think we should very important to talk about, and I think I mentioned this during the chat as well. When you're digitizing your customer experience, what are the other apps or other mediums that you can use to digitize your customer service or experience part, right? So I think phone voice is a traditional way. Some people prefer it, but now live chat is the new thing. So if you see a lot of people, a lot of companies are moving towards that in terms of their customer service. The second point is social media. I think this is very important. So you have multiple channels that customers use, and you need to also be able to adapt to these channels to ensure that the customer can reach out to you through this channel, right? The reason I added CRM was obviously CRM is not really a medium, but it is a way where you interact with the customer. So your customer journeys, your interaction with the customer needs to be, the journey really needs to be mapped out. So the customer understands where is this product, right? Like if you ask any e-commerce company or a person running customer service for e-commerce, the most common question is what is the most common question that you get in your customer service? And the answer is, where is my order, right? So when a customer places an order, he's very I mean, he only wants to know when will he get his order, right? So the journey needs to be built so that the customer knows where his order is. So if you're a marketplace company, the package is picked up from the seller, you should maybe inform the customer. When it's out for delivery, you should inform the customer. So that journey and understanding the customer is very important, which is why I added CRM. And then obviously Help Center is another way where you can put all the articles and customers can read through it, right? If we move on, I think the pros and cons of digitizing customer experience, again, I've been speaking about this earlier as well. I think the number one reason in terms of the pros is it gives better customer experience. I think it makes your business more competitive. So once you get into this digitization era, I think overall e-commerce or non-e-commerce or any sort of business becomes more competitive, has an edge over the other traditional businesses. I think it improves productivity in terms of cost. So like we were just talking about chatbot earlier. So if you implement chatbot, you don't need humans, actually people, to answer a customer's query. It's a chatbot that handles, and only queries that the chatbot cannot handle, it brings it back. So obviously productivity and cost efficiency is sort of both linked together. Again, if we go towards the cons, I think the number one is investment in technology. I think is very key. You need to be ensured financially you can invest in this, and this is a never-ending change as well. Like you always need to change and adapt to digitization, because like I said earlier as well, you need to be very agile. So anything changes, you need to be ensured you cope up with it, right? Obviously, transformation in terms of digitization takes time. So nothing happens overnight. You need to be patient. You need to ensure you have the processes built. You need to ensure you have the business built around that. Obviously, another con is once you're moving towards digitization in terms of customer experience, there's an uncertainty for employees because they feel now a chatbot, or in terms of what we're talking about, chatbot might replace the human intervention, so they might lose out on their jobs or whatever the reason is, right? Like, you know, how fulfillment centers now have robots doing or picking and packing, and human intervention is very minimum. So again, this is a more generic one on the digitizing the customer experience and journey. More than happy now to take any questions or you know, any questions that people have about this as well. Lastly, I'll just give you guys a quick way to get in touch with me. So this is my local number, available on WhatsApp as well, my official email, and LinkedIn as well. So thank you so much again for giving me this opportunity to talk a bit more on the customer experience part and how this relates to chatbot and other apps. And hopefully, you know, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Kasim. For our audience who still have questions, you can connect with him directly in this platform. Also, kindly do take time to visit the virtual exhibition area today, where you can see our sponsors' products and services. Thank you, and see you in our next session.